All right, so yeah, so this is basically this is basically the third time I've seen this game. I've seen this footage today. Um, Today is the third time I've seen it, I should say. We saw it back in August. It did have this intro. A lot of the footage was different, but it was the same narration. And then in October, when myself, Alex Arnold, and many of the content creators were invited to a special event, we saw this video again, but a lot of the footage has been changed. We got a lot of juicy new stuff. So this is pretty much the version that I saw in October. Um, and this is a great intro, of course, an example of one of the traps, the like a big trap, the temple collapsing. You know, very synonymous with Indiana Jones, like when the Chachapoyan idol, when he takes it and the temple starts collapsing, the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark. All right, so yeah, we got some nice little bits of footage here. I mean, not really like super new, but I love this going down this slide. Looks pretty cool. Egypt looks great. Love this. You have like an officer's uniform, so a lot of variety. Here we have Chachapoyan urn. Okay, so this looks like this is in um, Vatican, but this is a Chachapoyan urn. And if you guys know what that means, so opening scene of Raiders of the Lost Ark, iconic scene. Indy goes to a temple, the Golden Idol. That temple was called the Chachapoyan Temple. Um, it was built by the Chachapoyan people in the story of Indiana Jones. Um, so this is pretty cool because we've never really seen the Chachapoyan people referenced in another way in Indiana Jones. So here we have the Chachapoyan people. Their artwork is out there, and apparently the Vatican has one of these pieces, which is pretty exciting to me. And it does suggest to me that uh, Raiders of the Lost Ark's opening scene does have an extra bit of importance. Because as you guys know, we've seen a lot of footage which is recreating that opening scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark, and the Golden Idol and different elements of that have been in a lot of the promotional work too. So I have shared my theory that I think that those stones that Indy gives Marcus at Marshall College in Raiders of the Lost Ark have a connection with this game. And if that turns out to be true, it would be a really cool way of tying this all together. Um, so yeah, that was something when I saw this I last month. I was like, oh my god, you guys, this is awesome. All right, and nice little decoration there too. All right, this is a pretty cool trap here. Very Indiana Jones. Got to have our big, big objects, whether it's the rolling ball or this kind of reminds me of the gong from uh, Temple of Doom a little bit. Kind of standard. You got to have some stuff like that in your adventure games. This might be. Hmm, this might be Sukhothai, I guess. Maybe it's probably Sukhothai. Alright, and this definitely looks like Sukhothai here. This, obviously, a lot of people have mentioned the strap, as of a few months ago, is no longer over his jacket. Although I don't necessarily see the bag at this moment. Um, I think that's a scene from Peru, which I believe will be the opening scene, but we'll see. All right, and here's Vatican during the day. Little climbing action, and we get a little cutscene, which is nice. Gotta love it. And here's something. I mean, I know you guys have seen bits like this before, but you will see Indiana Jones on screen during your gameplay. And this is a great example here where it's cut to a third person perspective, but it's not for platforming. It's just your navigating a narrow space here. And very evocative of Raiders of the Lost Ark. All right, you've seen this. You've seen a lot of these bits before. This is, I think, the only shot of this video from Shanghai. Once again, we saw a lot of stuff from uh, all of the locations: Vatican, Egypt, Sukhothai, um, a little bit of Himalayas, Marshall College, and Peru, but almost nothing from Shanghai. So that's kind of the one location that they're keeping under wraps, I guess. They don't want to show a lot of stuff of that because they want to keep it fresh. And it seems like it might just be those 7 locations. There might not be another secret location. I haven't had this confirmed yet, but some of the people who went to these gameplay events that I went to, they mentioned something about hearing that it was 7 locations, which we know what the 7 locations are. So I was really hoping maybe Easter Island might be like a secret location, like the end location of the game. But it's possible maybe Sukhothai is going to be the last location, or who knows, maybe there is a secret last location. I would really love to see Easter Island in this game, but yeah, so very little footage of Shanghai once again. This is obviously recreating a scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark here. Iconic. And we're back to Marshall College, and you guys have seen all of this stuff plenty of times, of course. But always a pleasure to see it. I love Tony Todd, you guys. I can't believe this man right here who plays Locus. If you didn't know, he passed away this past week, and it hits really hard because he's such a beloved, iconic actor, well known for playing the Candyman and various villains. He's really good at playing those menacing characters, and it was such a treasure to have him join the Indiana Jones family, and I was really looking forward to seeing him get a lot of love from the Indiana Jones family once this game comes out, and unfortunately it's not going to happen because he passed away. It makes it so incredibly sad, but it's a blessing to have him in this game for, I guess, his last work. Alright, so here's Gina. Gina is her name is Gina Lombardi, an Italian journalist, as you can see on the screen there. She is trying to find her sister, whose name is Laura Lombardi, is possibly like an archaeologist, and is either being coerced or is in collaboration with the Nazis. So Gina's trying to save her sister, so that's what she's involved in here. And it's a nice little discussion between them here about where they each stand, about their beliefs, and why they need to go about this mission. So this is a very important cutscene there. That was, I think, during the Zeppelin. So that's at the very end of the Vatican portion. And this is a little bit earlier. This is when they're in the treasure room of the Vatican. This is when Indy first sees that Voss and the Nazis are involved. I love all these little characters. Like you have this this priest here, and I'm not sure if this is supposed to be Father Ventura here or not, but he's speaking German and he's telling Voss like, "Oh, these relics are very dangerous and stuff." Yeah, a lot of just rich side characters. It's just really cool, really fun to see. The level of detail they're putting into this game. And we're going to see Mussolini step in here, and I think it's been kind of widely agreed that this is Mussolini. And then we get a look at some of the other allies. This is obviously the ally in Egypt, and this is being called Henri. And here's your first time seeing some of these characters. So this lady here with the cool eye patch, finally get to see her. And she says, "Oh, another archaeologist." So I'm guessing that maybe she came across Voss or Laura at some point, and she's not happy to see another one. All right, you guys have seen a lot of this stuff. Indy is going to be exploring. This looks like probably Father Crescenzo's remains. So in the game, you're going to see Father Crescenzo, or his remains, I guess. It's explained. So Indy goes to Vatican, and a lot of this information actually comes from later in this video. There's some on-screen text I'll show you. But basically, Indy tells his friend Antonio, who's the priest character, who's his ally, the one who calls him Henri. He says, "Oh yeah, I was attacked by this giant in Marshall College," and he says, "Well, the only thing I know about giants are the fallen angels, and we had a priest called Crescenzo, and he went kind of crazy and locked himself down in the tombs, and he was rambling about an order of giants called the fallen angels." So this is going to be a nice, exciting part of the game. Before you even meet the Nazis and know that they're involved, you're going to go to the Vatican and you're going to, try to poke around, figure out what's going on here, and we're going to get a lot of papers like this that will explain the backstory of the game, fill you in about the side characters. These are kind of some of the elements that make people feel a little bit like an immersive sim, a little bit. And you can see it establishes the year 1578 ish when this was written, and yeah, it is Father Crescenzo. So you can check out. He's gotten lost apparently, and hasn't been able to get out of the underground area here. We can see a few little bits of exploration. Man, this is really, I love this shot right here of the market in Egypt with the pyramid in the background, and you can see the clothesline being moving around, which is nice. There's going to be a lot of little fun mechanics and stuff, which is great for the traps. I think they're showing. Yeah, man, this is awesome. Love this. Very Indiana Jones, very appropriate. This looks like Giza, so you'll see a section later in the game when Indy picks up this medallion from a German tent in Giza, where the guy yells at him about the bottle, and he uses it apparently to open this door, looks like, which is to get under the Sphinx. Alright, and here we see another new ally character, and definitely too old to be short round, because this is in 1937, which is just 2 years after Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. So it's definitely not short round. So it looks like probably a Thai young man who's helping Indy out here, and nice to see new allies and stuff like that. Yeah, he definitely has like a kind of young man Asian Indiana Jones. He even has like a canteen or something, kind of like how Indy carries his satchel. Ooh, I love this artwork. Look at this. This is great. See, a lot of like this artwork, like the little head at the bottom here of the door, it reminds me of that piece of artwork that we saw, which is the one where Indy's in the middle and there's like some ancient artwork and stuff either side of him. Looks like it's in Sukhothai, kind of reminiscent of the iconic Temple of Doom poster, like just a different way of making an iconic Indiana Jones look. So maybe that suggests that Sukhothai is going to be the final location. When I saw the original version of this video earlier on, there was like an on-screen text mention of Locus being somewhere here, and that you were going to have your showdown with Locus here in Sukhothai, possibly. So that's kind of where I'm standing. Yeah, that actually looked very evocative of the opening scene of that poster, rather. Sort of. Oh, this is excellent. Maybe a rite of passage for Khmer warriors. Really cool, nice statue. Great location here. Great level design. Everything's really compact. Really alive. So much detail. All of this stuff on the ground, all the walls. You have a little mouse jumping out, or the rat jumping off of the shelf there. Just loving the amount of detail of this game so much. And we see Indy picking up some statues, putting on pedestals to unlock things. Let's see. Trapped account. Parchment in Latin preserving the final words of medieval scholar. So just like, yeah, once again, it's like a super minor character, like somebody hundreds of years ago got trapped in this chamber here and couldn't get out, and he wrote like a his last words and thoughts there. And I don't know if there's any sort of like secret here that is going to help Indy. Sometimes these notes have like a hidden, like, I hid something here or whatever, but to help the player out. But it looks like that's not the case. But just a nice environment and world building and stuff. Man, that's a sneaky. Uh, man, that's a sneaky little hole there. You could fall down with that miss there. So watch out for that when you're playing the game. Oh, very cool. Ooh, man, look at that. And then there's a guy right here. And you get to whack him. That's a fun moment. The black shirts. All right, and here we have Indy packing his bag. This is the bag where you're going to find Marion's notebook. You guys have probably seen that clip. And here we have a gramophone record of rhythm and blues. And this is, kind of a reference to Mystery of the Blues, which is one of the most famous Young Indiana Jones episodes because Harrison Ford is in it. He has a little bookend at the beginning and end. And it sets up that Indy loves jazz and blues, basically. He played the soprano sax himself. So it makes sense that he would have one of these records. And he's going to take this and give it as a gift to his friend Antonio in the Vatican. And so just a really nice reference to young Indiana Jones. Like something that you wouldn't really catch unless you knew about it. And same thing with Antonio, the friend he gives it to, the priest, because Antonio calls him Henri. Indy says, I haven't heard that name in 19 years, which would be 1918, just after the events of Masks of Evil, which kind of makes sense. Maybe Indy would bond with a priest after that whole ordeal there, so that's pretty cool to see too. Ooh, what's this? Oh, this is like a little debreather, huh? All right, cool. Yeah, so we're seeing little because we already know about the camera, and we see the um, what's the other one? The lighter, obviously. These are things you pick up throughout the course of the game. The journal as well. Like you don't start with any of these things. I'm not sure where you get if you get the camera in Vatican, maybe, or where you get the camera, but the journal you get when you open the suitcase in Marshall College. You don't start with the journal. The lighter you buy in Cairo, and here we see it looks like the debreather. So a large part of Sukhothai is going to involve swimming. So this is another tool that you're going to get. Probably you're going to encounter a part of the game where you can't access maybe this temple right here. You can't access this temple without a debreather. So once you reach a certain point, you're going to be able to buy this item or find it or whatever, and then in that way it becomes kind of like a Metroidvania in a little bit. Same thing with the lighter. Like you can't access certain parts of Egypt unless you have that lighter. Yeah, I don't know if you guys play much Metroidvania games. I don't much, but I appreciate them. It's really a great idea. The idea of a Metroidvania is like um, you have like this whole map at your disposal, but you just can't reach certain parts because you don't have abilities unlocked or you don't have the tools that you need to get there. Um, so this is really cool. Seeing that, I hadn't noticed or known about that before. So you're going to be able to extend your breathing for that reason, and you can see in the bottom corner there. Sorry, I have stuff on the screen, but you can see this little icon right here indicates that you are using the debreather, and there's a little meter for your health, for your excuse me, your breath, your oxygen. All right, and here's a location. You've seen this before in the last bit of footage from Vatican. Here we see Indy using fire to unlock new things. That's another kind of sort of Metroidvania things. Sort of. Like you have to use your tools. You have to pick up a torch, light it on fire in order to access a new location. That looks like it was actually Egypt. Yeah, because that gate right there I recognize. Alright, here's Vatican. You can see one of the guards here. I can't wait to play this. I didn't really explore the Sphinx area, but there's a lot of like cool little structures and stuff, which I find interesting. You guys have seen this before. It's a gold mask, which is connected to the Guardians in some way, and this is something which you guys have seen little bits of this in previous footage. You and Gina have to use the light to unlock it, as you see here. All right, this is Indy's bulletin board in his office, and he just happens to already have a picture of the cat mummy which is stolen, so this is one he's going to grab and put in his journal that Marion gave him. So that looks like it's the more or less first. Here we are. Oh, a baseball card. Manny Angia. I wonder if that could possibly be a reference to Young Indiana Jones, because there is an episode in Young Indy where he trades a baseball card with Tolstoy in Russia, I believe, unless my memory is a little off. Let's see, Shirley's letter. Kara, Professor Jones, okay, this is. So there's a letter here, but it's in another language. It looks like it might be in like Danish or something. So maybe we can take a look at that and translate that later on. That's something I hadn't seen before. So there's a lot of little things that you can pick up. Looks like there's 10 notes that you can pick up. Obviously, the map to the Forbidden Eye is like the really cool one. Yeah, the college identity card. You guys have already seen that. I believe it's in the lobby of Marshall College. Indy will draw a picture of the pendant back here. There's a newspaper clipping on black shirts somewhere here. I think this is a picture of the cat mummy. And then, of course, you have various things that Indy has to pack his suitcase with while traveling to the Vatican. And here we have another Stella list. Nawal's list of. Okay, so this is Barclay's list that she writes for you. But this looks like Vatican though. The Cairo Museum can arrange work passes. Oh, this is for the Steels. I'm curious because this structure definitely looks like Castel Sant'Angelo from the Vatican to me, but it's being used for Giza, so maybe that's supposed to represent the Cairo Museum. I don't know. No, that's definitely Vatican. That's a little bit peculiar that you have like the two different locations on the same page there. So I wonder what that's about. All right, and here we have Giza. You guys have seen this map before, but these are locations around the map. You can see which are where these particular items are at. I know because I did these. Except I only had to get 4 of them. It says 4. This is where the tent is. So I'm not sure why there's 5. I don't think this one was on when I did mine. I don't know. Apparently there's an extra little icon. And you guys notice these red sections here. These are like the main German camp areas. So these are places where you do not want to be spotted, even if you're wearing a Arab disguise. You have a few extra seconds, but the Germans are gonna start shooting at you. All right, and here's this the Castel Sant'Angelo one more time. All right, and here now, when there are black shirts all over the Vatican, a disguise will be crucial to avoid attracting unwanted attention. Antonio had picked up a clerical suit that should fit, and of course, you guys saw that Indy will wear a black shirt uniform himself. Okay, so yeah, the on-screen text that was in the previous version was not there. I just want to see something really quick. Oh, just looking at this little thing. Definitely not the Cross of Coronado. I mean, he's in the Vatican, so it makes sense you have crosses all over the place. But still nice to check out the little details and stuff. There's our buddy Antonio. And yeah, pretty cool. Love seeing Indy in his different disguises and stuff. You will see down here what disguise Indy is wearing. So it's kind of hard to tell, but if you look at he's not wearing his hat, obviously, and you can kind of see that his shirt looks like the priest uniform, so you can tell in that way. And like when he wears the black shirt uniform, it's probably more noticeable. And here we have Indy exploring the Vatican a little bit while in disguise. Looking forward to that. All the exploration stuff you're going to do, that'll be fun. All right, and here, finally you guys get to see the Arab disguise, the white Tanis disguise that he wore for Raiders of the Lost Ark. It is back, and you will be donning that iconic disguise in this game here. And here is a point in the game where you will be doing that. So this guy right here, this is Meyer. He is the person who's recently been put in charge of the German excavation here. One thing I noticed is there's these 2 posters right here. And let me see. One, I think this one maybe was called Nord Cairo Express when I played it, and you could see there's someone dressed just like Indiana Jones, which is pretty cool. And yeah, another adventure poster here. So that was something that really excited me when I played this. So yeah, you can notice down here, Indy is in his disguise. So he has to go into this recreation area in order to grab a little artifact that he's going to use to unlock a door. And the guy's like, bring me the bottle. You find the gold medallion here, and there's a bottle here as well. And if you leave without giving the bottle to the guy, then you're going to hear it from him. And they're probably going to start shooting up. Here it is. And you still can't see this poster very well. You can see this one still not very well either. That's a nice little moment there. Okay, there's a little bit better look. So you could kind of see sort of like an Indiana Jones looking guy. Nord Cairo Express there. So that's pretty fun. I love the acting and the staging there. All right, you've seen this before. Oh yeah, that was satisfying to see. I love this little moment here. You see one of the spears is stuck into this I don't know, root or mushroom, whatever it is, and that's your clue that you can do that. So you can pick up the spear, chuck it across. You guys have seen this, of course, already. Um, but you're creating your own whipping point to use to get across. You know, thinking on your feet like Indiana Jones. You know, they keep pressing this idea that, yeah, you're gonna have to use your tools in creative ways. And this is the demon head room here. Pretty cool location. This might be one of the latest points in the game that we have footage of right now. I'm not sure how close this is to the end of the game, but I mean, I'm not sure if Sukhothai or Shanghai are going to be the end of the game, or if there's another one, like I said. But yeah, this is a pretty deep into the game moment here. Cross and diamond key. So yeah, so this is like an example of like a later game puzzle where you're gonna have to look at things, match probably shapes and objects. And like we said, Longinus here. If you guys are familiar with Indiana Jones, beyond just Raiders of the Lost Ark and the original few films, you probably have heard this name. It was first used in Indiana Jones and the Spear of Destiny, which was a great comic book from 1995 where Indy and his dad went after the spear. Great comic book set in the British Isles. And yeah, I really enjoyed that comic book. I actually have a video on it if you want to check it out later on. Spear of Destiny, and of course, a fake version of the lance also appeared in Dial of Destiny, because Indy gets on the train in the beginning of the film, and he's going after it, but he discovers that it's a fake. So this is the third time, and someone else, I think. Sorry if I forget. I don't know if it was Retro or somebody pointed out in our chat here earlier that there's also Spear of Destiny was like a, I don't know if you would call it like a DLC or like an expansion to the original Wolfenstein way back in the day. So a lot of connections. Cool to see this game making connections to both Wolfenstein's history and Indiana Jones's history. And here we see, one of the puzzles that you're pouring wine in order to reveal a number to use in the later chamber, which you guys are going to see right now. So that's a 3, and it tells him, well, you'll see. And then here, yeah, you break through doors and stuff. Just a lot of like variety in the gameplay. Makes you feel like Indy. Here we go. This is where you're gonna be putting that 3 there, and you're gonna have to do 5 of them. So it's a little bit too much to guess. And yeah, it looks like moving some things around to solve puzzles. Yeah, totally. I see these things and it makes me feel like Indiana Jones. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Replace a little item on here to open like a trap door. To do something. All right, and this is the area that I played a little bit, the Castel Sant'Angelo. Yeah, I love this new footage of the fighting. I love that dodge that he does. Yeah, and here we see him take down a heavy with a shovel. Definitely want to use those melee weapons as much as you can. That's what I found. I tried to use them as much as I could because, yeah, fighting can be a little tough. I was playing on one of the harder difficulties, so if you play on the easy one, maybe you can get by without it. But, yeah, for me, it was a challenge. So you definitely want to use the items at your disposal as much as you can. And this is in the Himalaya level. There's a reference to this in the Egypt level. You're gonna find a note that refers to this. And of course, you're gonna find you guys have seen it, the battleship on top of the mountains there, which has apparently been transported by the supernatural power of one of these artifacts. That's the way it looks, at least. So yeah, you guys have seen more or less some stuff from this location, obviously already. Got some more fighting for us here. The slap, everybody loves that slap. I got a big laugh when that happened. Oh, and here's you guys have kind of seen it before, but you can lean in the game, uh, as you could in GoldenEye. Kind of, I guess, invented it, and many other first-person shooters have used that idea. I just love looking at all the footage. Like the character models look great. The enemies, all of the locations look like a lot of fun. I just can't wait to explore all these places. Get really deep into the game. And here we see using your environment. This is a great little moment here. And you see all these guys after you, and then you throw a little dynamite. That's wonderful. Looks like that's near the Sphinx area. All right, and yeah, this is Castel Sant'Angelo again. And there's a little footlocker there. So this is something that you're going to be able to open. Um, you know, you may have to find the passcode, figure it out, but yeah, that's something to look out for there. After this, we get through this, we're gonna I'll take a look at the chat and see all your questions that you guys have, all your comments and everything. Appreciate you guys sticking with me, being with me. This is Castel Sant'Angelo. This is the Lucky Hat, which is the you know, the ability I'm most excited for. So you're gonna have to pick up this book, and then anytime you make a discovery, you get adventure points, and you spend those adventure points to unlock the ability, which is, or to activate the ability, which is unlocked. Maybe is the best way I should say it. So Lucky Hat, and this is Lucky Hat 1. So there's going to be another level of this apparently later in the game, is what that indicates to me. So when you are defeated in combat, you have a chance to crawl over to your fedora. If you do, you get a second chance. And I think this next shot here will be an example of that. So this, I think, is the first time you guys have seen this example of how it works exactly. And that's the animation as you stand up. Very good. All right. This is a pretty cool one. Bare hands enables unarmed takedowns of enemies. Great. So, maybe. So I guess that means like stealth. Yeah, because that's right. Because I noticed when you go up behind enemies, you need to have a weapon to knock them out. If they don't know that you're there. So doing this, you'll be able to, you know, be like Daniel Craig's James Bond and take them out. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, here's Sukhothai. You're gonna be swimming. You're gonna be exploring in boats. A lot of stuff in the water there. That'll be a very cool location for sure. And this is back in the Vatican. You can see. So this, yeah, it looks like they changed their icon. There was another one, but this does not look like. Let me see. Yeah, this does not look like the priest icon to me. So this is probably the black shirt icon. Which, yeah, there was another icon that they had that he had that a hat with his black shirt uniform, but apparently that's not being used anymore. So, you know, being into the black shirt will give you a lot more access to different things. And here's Giza once again. This is when you first get there. Alright, pretty standard stuff. Moving things around. Let's see, what is this location? This must be Sukhothai, I guess. Unless it's Vatican, but to me this must be Sukhothai. Very reminiscent of Temple of Doom, by the way. Love that. Oh, okay, yeah. I could tell what's because of what Gina's wearing that this is Sukhothai. So he picks up something. Oh, and he's trying to break out. Oh, okay, and there's like some water coming out of the wall, which is your clue that that's your escape. And here's the village once again. Oh, looks great. Looks gorgeous. And here is the vendor that you're going to buy the lighter from. And she has a little pet monkey. You could pull out your camera and take a picture of them. And she strikes a little pose, which is kind of fun. And the monkey apparently... Indy says something, the monkey's up to something, but I couldn't figure out what that was during my gameplay. Yeah, so that's the lighter. So it's not Marion's actual lighter. It is based on the design of Marion's lighter from Raiders of the Lost Ark, but this is a new one that he purchases himself. Although who knows, maybe Marion brought the lighter to Egypt and dropped it, and then this vendor picked it up. So that would be kind of funny. No, I don't think that's the case though. And once again, this is Vatican. This is the moment when you stumble upon the Underground Fight Club, and we know that I've been told that someone else who played the game discovered an Underground Fight Club in Giza as well. So apparently, there's going to be more than one of these things in the world. So I'm curious about that. If it's just to get money, or is there more to it than that? I like that little moment right there. Harrison Ford face looks great. So is it just going to be to get more money so you can purchase things, or is there going to be another, like a story purpose? Like you have to do this in order to solve a side mission or something. Yeah, man. And of course, in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, originally there was a scene set at the school boxing ring, and it didn't make the final film, but it did make the game. So in the game, there was a little boxing mini game, which you can do to kind of hone your skills and just have fun if you want. But this could possibly be a little bit of a being inspired by that sort of thing. So this is going to be really cool to be able to find little things like that. Looks like a lot of fun. People are wondering if you can sucker punch though, which I don't think will be the case. That's a reference to those point and click games. Excuse me. Man. Sorry, it's a little early for me. I have a bit of a sniffle. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Alright, so this is definitely Sukhothai. This is the little village that you'll be able to go to. Maybe you have to come here to get that debreather, I'm guessing. Yeah. Armory, so it looks like you can buy some stuff there. Someone's hut. Yeah. Looks great. Great location. I love seeing stuff like this. This is Castel Sant'Angelo. This is the map that you find early in that part of the Italy level of the game. And here we see one of those footlockers, and you're going to find the diary of Crescenzo. So what it says here, Crescenzo's diary. So somewhere, either from this either from the scribblings you find earlier or from that notebook. Presumably, it'll be an important clue leading you toward where the fallen angels are and the treasury and all of that. All right, so this is more or less the end of the gameplay here that we get. Snake falls on Indy's shoulder, just a really small one. He's trying like he's not scared. It's funny. All right, yeah, good stuff. What's this one? This looks like Sukhothai must be. Yeah, but it's different from the village that we saw earlier. Or maybe it's just a different part, and because it's night, it looks different. But that's nice to see. I hadn't really noticed that before. I like that way he swings is kind of cool. Like it's not. It's like there's a lot of like variation and stuff, and like the engine allows for. I mean, sort of like an immersive sim. Like, it's not just like you whip something and you automatically swing across, which is how all of the old indie games always were. It's like there's a whipping point, you can whip it, and then you can do whatever you want. You can swing across, you can climb it, and here we see him taking a very wide swing, which is kind of cool. So there's a little bit of variety. You know, I'm wondering if you can use like kind of immersive sim ideas, if you can get to places that it's like not really intended for you to get to, depending on how you use your whip and how you swing. We'll see. We know that there's some immersive sim inspiration in there, so we'll see how much. I don't. I mean, it's not like a full on immersive sim, obviously, but we'll see. Yeah, we did. It would be really cool just to see if there's a lot of alternate ways to solve problems, which is like kind of a staple of immersive sims. Like there are definitely alternate routes to get to places. Like when I was playing my game, I climbed a ladder to get somewhere, and there was a glitch, and I got stuck. And the developer came over, and he said, "Well, there's another way you can get around." So there are definitely multiple ways to approach situations. Um, but is it just in moving around, or can you solve things by talking to people? Can you bribe a guard? Can you do different things to have different ways, like a very different type of ways to solve problems and approach situations? We'll see. I haven't really seen a lot of that yet, so I'm not sure we can call it immersive. Oh, that was funny. Is there somebody? There's somebody in the chair, and then he throws the other guy into that chair. That's funny. Two birds with one stone. That's a funny moment too. And here we see you can slide down the rope with Gina hanging onto you, which is kind of cool. So much fun stuff. I love this moment. That's a nice look of the environment. I love being up high. That's a cool look. So I'm definitely going to go through and update my extended trailer / gameplay footage to give you guys a nice long look at all of the footage that we have so far. So stay tuned for that. All right, and